OCA.
Ocala.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above.
All right, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Thursday morning. It is time for Veterans News. Hank Whittier is not in the studio. Gary Pascal sitting in the captain's seat. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, veterans, and good morning to all our great listeners out there. I'm filling in for Hank this morning because he's got a construction meeting for that new building that we're pushing, hoping, and praying to get in, hopefully around the middle of April. We do have to start the morning off with some casualty reports from the U.S. Fire Administration, and also, we have several police officers that we have in the officer down report. We don't have any military casualties to report this morning, though. So starting with the fire, we have firefighter Terry Edward Schaefer. He was with the Spring Valley Fire Department in Spring Valley, Wisconsin. His date of death was February the 25th. We have Mike Dale Russell of the Leech Volunteer Fire Department in Rose, Oklahoma. His date of death was on February the 22nd, and his rank was also firefighter. And then we have firefighter Ronald Savage with the Milford Fire Department in Milford, Michigan. His date of death was February the 25th. And we have firefighter James Frankonovich of West Burlington Fire Department in the West Burlington, Iowa. His date of death was February the 24th. And going on to the police officers and law enforcement folks, we have Officer Lucas F. Cello of the California Highway Patrol. Officer Cello's end of watch was Wednesday, February 22nd. And we have Deputy Sheriff Michael Butler of the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office in Georgia. His end of watch was February the 25th. And we have Deputy Sergeant Kevin Harvley of the Greene County Sheriff's Office in New York. His end of watch was February the 28th. We have Deputy Sheriff Michael Foley of the Alameda County Sheriff's Office in California. His end of watch was Thursday, February the 23rd. Our thoughts and our prayers go out to the families of these firefighters and these police officers. Larry?
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Well, we want to thank the great folks here at WOCA for letting us be on the air every week. The Source, they're very good to us. God bless them. They love veterans. And we want to thank our good friends and sponsors at Bob Wines, Camellia Gardens and Nursery and Landscaping Center. They're located at 2610 Southeast 38th Street in our own beautiful Ocala. You can contact Bob Wines at area code 352-629-5766, or you can Google him on the internet. Bob Wines, Camellia Garden and Nursery and Garden Center and Landscaping has everything you need for all your gardening and landscaping, from small plants, large trees, fertilizer, and much more. Bob Wines will deliver, and they guarantee their trees. Bob Wines offers a 10% discount to veterans, so make sure you bring your proof that you're a veteran when you go there and get that discount. Now, Bob Wines, Camellia Garden and Nursery has been keeping things blooming in Ocala since 1952, and that's been a long time. And as a special thing today, and I'm going to have Larry give you a phone number, there's going to be a prize going out. What is it for the first caller, Larry?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. During the Veterans News Hour here, a double red knockout rose. I love them. Valued at $29.99, and a 10-inch blooming hanging basket valued at $16.99. So what's that magic phone number, Larry?
Well, why don't we give them the office line? That
Okay.
way we won't interrupt the show. If you'd like to win the prize package, call Patsy. She's at her desk right now. The number is 732-8000.
All righty, and I do we have time for the announcements before the commercial?
Yes, sir.
I got a few announcements, and I want to introduce my guest. Joe just brought out something really good. If you go on smile.amazon.com, they will take 5%, and it's not don't come from your bill or anything. 5% of the amount of your order and donate it to the charity of your choice. And Joe's just told me that he did that, and he gave 5% to Veterans Helping Veterans.
Right.
So they look up to charity. All you got to do is give the charity of your choice. So we wanted to plug that. Also, Saturday we got the Strawberry Fest coming up at the McPherson Complex. That's going to be on March 4th. That's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Vets Helping Vets. We'll have a booth out there. Gary Skokesberg and some of our other folks will be out there, so come and see us. Also, I want to remind us that the tennis tournament and the golf tournament for the Don Harrison Foundation is Saturday, March 4th on the tennis, Sunday, March 5th on the golf. If you want more information on this, you can call the Don Harrison Foundation at area code 352-629-5591, or you can Google the www.donharrisonfoundation.org, and you can get more information about it. And I'll be out there on Sunday. I think I'm going to be a hole watcher or something like that. So look forward to seeing y'all.
Very good.
And I got a special guest with me today. I got retired Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Harvey with us, and he's going to talk about welcoming veterans home, a special event we got coming up this month, right, Jeff?
Yes.
You want to introduce yourself?
I'm Jeff Harvey, a retired lieutenant colonel, infantry type. After 28 years of combined active and reserve duty. This year, on Saturday, March 25th at 10 a.m. at Veterans Memorial Park in Ocala, there will be a Welcome Home celebration. It will mark the 4th National Vietnam Veterans Welcome Home Day and the first Marion County / Ocala Welcome Home Day for all veterans. Jeff Askew and his outstanding group of volunteers have done a tremendous job for the last 3 years of putting on the Welcome Home celebration for us Vietnam veterans. This year it has been decided to expand the celebration to include all veterans, many of whom have never been welcomed home before except by close family and friends. This community is so supportive and respectful of the military. At every ceremony at our beautiful Veterans Memorial Park, there are always participants from the high school, junior ROTC units whose honor performances meet high military standards, as well as performances by the Ocala PD, the Marion County Sheriff's Department, both fire departments, and many others that are always there supporting veterans, many of whom are veterans themselves. The military services are held together by a standard of daily respect and honor among all ranks and across all services. We recognize and appreciate the Ocala and Marion County efforts to honor and respect what we have done and what we are doing for our country. This year, the community will now recognize and welcome home all of its veterans. We encourage all veterans from all eras, wars, conflicts, World War II, Korea, the Cold War, the Cuban crisis, the Dominican Republic, Vietnam, Grenada, Panama, the Balkan peacekeeping operations, Desert Storm, Desert Shield, and all of the Iraq and Afghanistan conflicts, and all of those deployments that we weren't supposed to know about. We welcome all of those veterans to come home and enjoy a gathering of friends and be welcomed home by this fantastic community. Again, Saturday, March 25th at 1000 hours, or for all civilians, that's 10 a.m., at the Veterans Memorial Park in Ocala, the corner of Fort King and Southeast 25th Avenue. All Welcome Home Veterans Celebration Day. Thank you.
That's great. Gary, we're up against the break, so we'll take a little break and we will be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Thursday, we'll see clouds and limited sun. Look for a shower or thunderstorm this afternoon with highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. Thursday night will be mostly cloudy. It will turn cooler with a low of 46 in the northernmost part of the zone to 62 in the south. And for Friday, a breezy, less humid day as clouds give way to some sunshine, the high 69 to 73. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Listen up, Ocala, and you'll hear about the first great tree deal of the spring. This week, Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens has a super buy on better than nice, extra large live oak trees. These big number 4 size oak trees are regularly $59.99, but this week, Bob's selling them for $29.99. Yes, $29.99. That's half price. Pick out your oak tree, then check out the azalea sale, especially those ever-blooming dwarf red ruffles, still super low priced at $3.99 for 1 or 100. Of course, Bob Wines has more knockout roses than anyone, with prices starting at only $15.99 for double red knockouts. Spring veggies, 4-pack, only $2.99. But hurry for best selection to Bob Wines Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, just a mile east of Lake Weir Avenue, daily till 4:30, Saturday till 2, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Beautiful Moments Party Rental presents the Ocala Wedding and Events Expo 2017 on March 9th. This event has caterers, photographers, florists, musicians, plus food, fun, and more. Brides, bring your bridesmaids and friends alike. 100% of ticket sales goes to the Inflammatory Breast Cancer Network Foundation, and they're only $10 each. So mark your calendars for March 9th from 5 to 8:30 p.m. for the Ocala Wedding and Events Expo at Beautiful Moments Party Rentals, 3400 Southwest 60th Avenue. Questions, call 307-8180. That's 307-8180.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For For more info, just call Tom Spix, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
All right, 19 minutes after 9 o'clock, let's return to Veterans News with Gary Pascal. 71 degrees, by the way, Gary.
Jeff, this is a great thing, welcoming everybody back, and it's going to be a really good opportunity for a time of fellowship and, all these veterans here from all these different conflicts. I look forward to it, at that Veterans Park, I want to give some kudos to Mr. Jeffrey Askew. He organizes some really good stuff down there. They have that quarterly memorial. I think last month I went to the 4 Chaplains Memorial there on a Sunday, a very solemn occasion. And, it seemed like Jeffrey's always over there doing all the grassroots stuff, putting the chairs up, and, sometimes, if you go to an event like that, and he's there, pitch in and give him a hand, because, he does a lot of hard work for that park, and, we really want to thank him for that.
Without Jeffrey Askew, I'm not sure what all these celebrations would be, but he brings the community together. He has a lot of people who are his core of volunteers, but his attitude towards everything, his ability to get people to work together or something, and almost all of the celebrations over there are done so well. And again, this is one thing that Jeff has done. The Welcome Home celebration for the last 3 years for Vietnam veterans is really fantastic. But we just talking with him, and he said, let's do it for all veterans. Let's get everybody, because we got all these young veterans now who are coming back from the Middle East incursions or conflicts or whatever. I call them wars because they shoot at you. And we've got to get them and welcome them home, as well as people from my era and other eras.
Well, the Vietnam era people, me being one myself, I don't think we've got a very good welcome, but I think we learned something very important, because our generation, when these younger ones came back, we gave them respect and, made them really feel welcome. I don't think, the early 2000s, when I was working with the Salvation Army, my nephew came, and he came and stopped right and seen us at the Salvation Army before he even went home from Iraq. And, and he was in his BDUs there, and, with the brown boots and all that. And, everybody just got up and hugged him and thanked him. And, it was a beautiful thing. People that didn't even know him, what a difference.
Well, I think we as a nation learned that the military aren't the policymakers. They are the policy enforcers, if you want to call it that, but we're not the policy makers. We didn't all jump up and volunteer to go to Vietnam. Probably many more than half probably were draftees, one way or the other, or they may have been, back in the old days, you could, if you were running into problems at home, they would give you a choice of whether you go to jail or go to enlist. And we had a number of those, but they also would have rather been somewhere else. But the American public then took it out on the people in uniform. Today, they're actually looking at the people in uniform and saying, thank you. And I find it very refreshing, just when I wear my hat or something, that somebody comes up and thanks me for my service. It's heartfelt.
Now, my boss, Hank, he's a Marine veteran, great guy. Probably done more for veterans in this county than anybody I know. But he's a big fan of the old, judges saying, go to jail or go in the military. That straightened a lot of people out. Going in the military, I think, it's a great opportunity, and to serve your country. And we do. If you've ever been, anybody that's not been overseas, maybe you don't know, but anybody that's ever left this country, you know, especially with the military, and you come back, you know for sure, without a doubt, that we live in the greatest nation in the world. You know, God has blessed us more than any place I've ever been, and you know, I'll say that to the day I die. You know, I love America, and it is the greatest place on earth.
Well, during the break, you were just mentioning that when you were in basic training and went to AIT, how getting your blue cord once you got into became blue in the at Fort Benning, what that meant to you, and you still remember it. So
I sure
special.
do, and you know the thing about that was shortly after that, you know, to graduate, we had a 25-mile road march back then. And I was at Fort Polk, Louisiana, and by the time our road march came, it was probably 100 degrees that day. And my company as a unit, a lot of us, you know, this was shortly after, because I was in the Navy first, this was shortly after the Vietnam War in 1975, so a lot of people were coming back into the military because, you know, their civilian job market was terrible. And of that group of mine in the company I was in, we were all prior service, not the company, but the platoon. Everybody, even the people that got sick with poison ivy and stuff, you know, if we had to carry them on our shoulders or carry their pack or whatever we had to do, all 25 of us made that in the 7 hours or whatever. And we made sure, because we did it as a group and we helped each other. And we all graduated. And, you know, that's a big thing, because I was a drill sergeant at Fort Jackson, you know, in my later years. And, you know, I never seen everybody in a platoon graduate before, but we did that. And that was a great thing.
I think that the teamwork, the specialty, is something that you get. As I say, I have reunions with the company that I commanded in Vietnam, and these guys were with each other maybe 5 or 6 months or maybe a whole year. There is no stronger bond. Their friendship has endured. We're going on 50 years now. Their friendship has endured for 50 years, much more so than many of the friendships that they made in high school or at home or whatnot. These are lasting things that they remember, and there's just something about that kind of cohesiveness that you get with your fellow friends. And of course, in Louisiana, I think everybody gets poison ivy. That's the state flower, I think.
You know, the weird thing about Louisiana, being a kid, you know, from South Florida, you know, I thought we had the market on alligators. but in them ponds and stuff around there that we marched around, you know, I've seen alligators bigger than I've seen even in Florida. So, yeah.
When you go to a state whose state flower is poison ivy and the state bird is a mosquito, you know you're in trouble.
That's for sure. You know, only positive thing was Sergeant York used to be at the gate. I don't know if he's still there or not, but that's a great thing. I was just talking to a young Marine, probably in his 30s, you know, that's been out for a while, you know, and we were talking about that camaraderie, you know, and it seems like no matter how long you're out or how many good friends you seem to make in the civilian world, it's never the same level of friendship and camaraderie that you had with your Army buddies or your Marine buddies or your Navy buddies or your Air Force buddies, you know?
Well, I think it also goes along with living 24 hours with each other, and you do have each other's, in today's vernacular, you have each other's back, but you and sometimes you carry them on your back when you have to. There's just a difference in the depth of the relationship that you develop with these people, and you can't find any other place. Now, possibly with police, possibly with fire departments, which are very close to the same. But yeah, the military was special in my heart.
Mine too, and you know, I'll remember it, you know, to the day I go on to be with the Lord, you know, and that's a great thing. So that's the 25th of March.
25th of March at 10 o'clock in the morning.
At 10 o'clock, come out there, get a hug, get a handshake. Who knows? Florida is kind of a melting pot. You may see some of your old Army buddies, Navy buddies, Marine buddies, Air Force buddies out there that, you haven't seen in years. You never know who you're going to run into. So come out there and join us. How much time we got, Larry?
1 minute.
We got 1 minute. Okay. Let me remind you again about Amazon. ushop.amazongives.com. Okay. And that's 5% to the charity of your choice. And of course, I would love helping veterans to be the charity of your choice. So join us again on the 25th. Again, the Veterans Helping Veterans is looking to be in that new building around the middle of April. Our grand opening, Hank will come on and talk about it, probably sometime in May. And Hank should be here with us next week, and maybe we'll have more information. But for Hank Whittier and Vets Helping Vets, we just want to tell everybody, God bless America.
From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean wide with gold.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. The